It's a jam-packed weekend at West Point with a lot of the action at the Hofstra Center this weekend, and we'll get started at Tate Rink as the Army West Point hockey team welcomes in Service Academy rival Air Force. The Black Knights took 1 point from Sacred Heart last weekend and are looking for more against Air Force this weekend as, again, the Atlantic hockey standings are tight, top to bottom, as Army needs 4 big points to try and get closer to their rivals who are towards the top of the standings.
Air Force has been kind of got on track now, and they're a very dangerous team. They play fast. They have skill at every position. So for us, like every weekend, it's going out and executing in a way that we need to execute in order to put ourselves in a position to win a hockey game. And obviously, you know what? We want to beat Air Force. It's a huge weekend. But really what it comes down to, Friday night, these are 2 big points. And Saturday night, there's another 2 big points because we're all trying to get as many points as you can to set yourself up to be in a good spot once the playoffs start. So when it comes down to it, you know what? It's about trying to win a hockey game and putting those 2 points in the bank. And in order for us to do that, we know we're going to have to be real good because Air Force is an excellent team. They're very well coached, and we're expecting 2 great hockey games in here this weekend.
As Army and Air Force are squaring off on the ice at Tate Rink, across the hall in Crystal Arena, it's the 25th West Point Open, as the Army West Point Gymnastics team is going to look to build off last week's dual meet performance against Penn State. The Nittany Lions will be in attendance at the West Point Open, including a bunch of conference foes that Army will see throughout the year, such as arch rival Navy, Temple, and Springfield. The Black Knights, who are only off on 1 or 2 events last week, are going to look to close the gap on Penn State this weekend as they host the West Point Open for the 25th time under head coach Doug Van Everen.
A little better hit percentage for sure. You know, we opened up at Penn State, and the guys did a pretty good job. We had 1 bad event, and I know we can certainly tighten that up a little bit. I feel like the gap will be shrunk a little bit this weekend, and that'll be good. I also expect, a number of our guys to be able to make the finals on just about every event. We've got perhaps one of the strongest, if not the strongest team that we've had, and so it's a very well-balanced team between the plebes all the way up to Jesse Glenn, and so we've got like a great, strong, powerful team right now. So if we can keep everybody healthy and moving forward, we're going to turn a lot of heads.
Coming off last week's thrilling 19-15 victory over the Binghamton Bearcats, the Army West Point wrestling team has the final 2 home meets of the season as they welcome in Hofstra and Penn this weekend. Hofstra will come in at 2 p.m. on Saturday, while one of the best teams in the country, the Penn Quakers, comes in at 5 p.m. on Saturday. Both matches will be in Everen Gymnasium.
That win over Binghamton should be something we can learn from and feel good about and build some momentum from, the way we had to come back and fight back from that one. Now, it doesn't get a whole lot easier coming up this weekend with Hofstra and Penn at home, 2 very tough teams in our conference that we've seen several times. And, man, we know they're going to wrestle hard. So, going to be some good matchups against Hofstra on Saturday. Obviously at 141 they're ranked, and a rematch at 174 where we won a close one in the past. I expect several good matchups in that duel, and definitely against Penn on Sunday. They have several ranked wrestlers all the way through their lineup, and where their guys aren't ranked, they're still very solid. So 2 really tough dual meets this weekend. We're going to have to be sharp if we expect to walk away with a win.
Other teams at home this week include the Rifle team as they take on NC State and Kentucky, and the Army West Point men's basketball team returns to Crystal Arena on Sunday, 12 o'clock tip, against American. That game can be seen nationally on CBS Sports Network. The women's basketball team will also be down at American as they look to continue their hot start in Patriot League play. That's going to do it for your weekend preview. For Night Vision, I'm Zack Daly.